Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Two Idiots Reading Comics. This week's episode 101, The Boys, Volume 2. As always, thank you for joining us. Tell your friends, your family, anyone that wants to listen to comics and Two Idiots talk about it. You can go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere you get your podcasts. All right, let's get into it.
And welcome to the best damn book club on the internet. My name's Ryan Talmadge. That's Davis Crocker. This is Two Idiots Reading Comics. I already said that part. Today we're reading The Boys
Volume 2.
Filler Edition.
Most definitely.
Yeah, but we're going to credit some people.
As always, we got writer Garth Ennis, illustrator Derek Robertson and Peter Snydberg, letter Simon Boland, colors Tony Avina, covers Derek Robertson and Tony Avina, created by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. So,
Well, the show's coming out this week.
that's right.
I am looking forward to that.
And what we've seen in the trailers for the show is nothing that we just read.
Well, no, it's Volume 2. They've something I wish anime would do with manga, and that American TV does, is they skip filler in America.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe this leads to something down the line, but wasn't a whole lot, unless you just love to hear Butcher talk. That was about it.
I forgot, once I started reading this, I forgot how hard it was to read English.
Everybody's accents.
Yeah, everybody's accents. Because you're sitting there going, okay, all right, I got it. It was kind of like when we read Southern Bastards, how it was even hard to read, like, Southern write, like it was written like a Southerner would talk.
Yeah.
And that was even kind of hard to read a little bit. And this was not even in our wheelhouse, and I was having some struggles.
Yeah, it was also just a lot of talking, but with not a whole lot of action.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe, I don't know when this was right. I assume like late 90s, early 2000s, but like the prospect of having a closeted superhero is not like that big of a deal in 2022.
Yeah, it's definitely not a big
I
deal.
think the bigger twist was that Vought had him pretend to be gay so they could have a gay-friendly superhero.
Yeah, that was the biggest twist in that part.
Now that would get you canceled nowadays, but
Yeah.
I don't know. And then just a sex addict. It was just like, all right, cool.
Yeah. And then
And then the whole Russia thing was
I
right.
thought it was hilarious that how they killed Tech Knight, that he had been demoralized and he stopped being Tech Knight, and then the wheelbarrow was falling off the roof.
Yeah.
And he thought he saved the folks,
Yeah.
and then ends up going to space to fuck a asteroid. Like, the whole time I'm reading, I'm like, this just doesn't, like, The Boys is bad, but like this just seems a
Yeah,
little
it's
too
just-
far fetched.
it was just like,
And
yeah,
then
whatever.
just the final issue of that, the final page of that issue, it was like, huh, poor bloke had a tumor, and I guess the wheelbarrow actually did him good.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
Mhm.
actually died from the wheelbarrow that he thought he saved the woman from, and he had a tumor too. So
What? Yeah. Oh, is that what was making him
yeah,
fuck
that's why
everything?
yeah.
I gotcha. All right. Well, I'm excited for the show.
Oh, the show.
They got the guy from
Supernatural.
Supernatural.
Not Jason Aaron. Oh crap! I forgot his name.
but he's playing like some guy with an unfortunate name. I forgot what it was.
I did too. But he's supposed to be now. Is he supposed to be a good guy, bad guy, or a just
we're-
false superhero that's a dick?
Probably. I mean, probably all of the three. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
superheroes are dicks. So
I've only seen one trailer, and it had me a little bit worried because like most of the trailer just seemed like this whole season was going to be about. And this guy gets a lot of credit. The guy who's playing Homelander is doing an amazing job, and it is like one of the better parts of the show. But that trailer looked like this was just going to be a character study of like how far can we push Homelander before he snaps. I'm like, all right, well, are we going to address any of the other storylines, like
which I mean, I
that
don't
lady
think
that's
it's.
blowing up people's heads, and Yui's
Oh, I
working
forgot
for
about her.
Yeah, and Yui's working for her now.
Yep, because she's
And
trying to run
then-
for office, political office, senator,
Yeah,
or something.
And then it's like, well, what does the team do now that
they're kind of split.
They're kind of like jobs halfway done, I guess. I don't know. They have Homelander put in his place, but then
True.
also, and then like Butcher's wife died, but like this kid's alive, I think.
But they took the kid. The FBI took the kid from him.
Oh yeah.
So
which he didn't want the kids.
Well, he didn't want the kids in the first place.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be. I don't know what the big bad. I guess the big bad's the woman blowing people's brains out.
I would imagine.
But other than that, well, I didn't see the Nazi thing coming in last season, so
yeah.
I guess we'll probably get 2-3 episodes in and then go, oh, well, here's your new big bad. Here's your next shitstorm that's going to happen.
I wonder how they're going to release it, because that's what I think the past couple times they release like the first 3 and then they go to week to week.
Weekly, yeah. Which I've become a big fan of again.
Back to week to week?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's way more fun.
Because
you talk about it and you think about it, and it just helps you get through your week.
Because I mean, growing up, we didn't have streaming services and shit like that, so you had to watch stuff week by week. Yeah, you ended up kind of forgetting some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like you would end up like, oh, okay, that was a really big filler piece, and you forget.
But if it's a good show, you're locked in.
You're gonna come back
Game of
every
Thrones
week.
and Walking Dead.
Every week,
I knew what was going on.
And then now with streaming services, they just dump everything at one time. You end up watching in a weekend.
You forget the whole show.
Then like a month later, you're going, did I watch that?
Yeah.
What was that about?
Yeah, no.
But I'm definitely enjoying the week to week a lot more.
Oh yeah.
And then with the 3
then you get
episodes
to like theorize
to
with your
in,
friends and stuff. Yeah.
The 3 episodes, 2 or 3, to really draw you into the episode. That's really big. Because like last week, or when this comes out, it'll be the previous Friday. Obi-Wan's dropping 2 episodes at one time. So you get to sit there and get drawn in by 2 episodes, and then just sit there and just wait and wait and wait.
Yeah.
But
what are your? Never mind. I was going to ask you how are you feeling leading up to that? But like at the point this show comes out, it's already out, so there's no point in talking about that. Which, I mean, we're talking about The Boys. Oh yeah, we got to talk about The Boys some more. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It just seemed like a lot of filler, to be honest.
Yeah, because again, I think what was it? Oh, we read Kingsman. Just off of volume 1, and now when The Boys were, of course, done 2 volumes, they must have gone through the entirety of the comic and pulled out the biggest, the biggest topics. And stuff. Yeah,
because this was like the first appearance
of TV.
This was the first appearance of what's her face, Storm, whatever. That was the Nazi.
She wasn't. She was in this.
Well, it's a he in the comic books, but it was like Tech Knight was flying with those 3 people, and Stormfront was the leader of the whatever.
Because it said their name, and I was like, man, that sounds really familiar. And then I looked at the picture, and it was dudes, and I was like, oh,
yeah. Stormfront's a dude in the comics, but he's the leader of whatever that second place team is.
But either way, it was just. Again, just reading the comics, I wouldn't have sat there and gone, all right, yeah, this is what we're going to do this is going to be a hit show.
Not this one. Volume 1 I thought was pretty good, but that was also just introducing everything.
But when you also go to read Invincible, and Invincible was almost verbatim that first volume.
Yeah, pretty close.
It's kind of, why don't do that? Why? And we saw that issue with Walking Dead too, is you have the continuity. This is what's been written. This is what everybody loves. Why not hit it a little bit more true to heart?
Take your time. Well, this one, I'm glad they didn't.
But then you read this and go, oh, maybe don't do that sometimes.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and ramble and stretch because I think our segment / discussion now will take a while. Today's segment is, are we a little bit worried about the MCU? Because everything post-COVID hadn't been, besides Spider-Man, which is technically a Sony movie.
Sony, right.
Has been okay at best. Like, we'll say it is mostly because I know I was, and I think you said you were, Doctor Strange did not live up to the hype for me.
No, I was, during the movie, there was amazing points to it, and really cool things that happened. But when the movie was over, I sat there and went, I'm glad I didn't pay full price for this.
Yeah.
We went at matinee, and that's horrifying. An
Yeah.
MCU movie that I sat there after it was over, and my wife did too, and we went. I'm glad I didn't pay full price for this.
Yeah, no. And it was just like two main things for me is like I don't know when this was scheduled to release, but COVID messed everything up in relation to WandaVision. But that should have came out like a month after WandaVision.
Oh, it needed to have come out a lot quicker.
And I understand they had just literally launched Disney Plus, and so they couldn't like not put new stuff on there because they needed people to subscribe.
Right.
But like, there would have been way more. Like I completely forgot that Wanda had that whatever that dark book was that supposedly corrupted her. I completely forgot she had that. Like, and this is as a guy who only watches like one trailer for everything because I don't want to see everything.
Because now trailers spoil the shit out of stuff now.
I remember seeing trailers for the second Avengers movie, Age of Ultron, and they were all in snow. Like the first 10 minutes of that movie take place in where there's snow.
Yeah,
and that's it.
That's
and you
it.
thought the whole trailer was just those first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so when they show the Illuminati, he's like, well, if that's what they're showing us in the trailer, what the heck do they have planned? And it was just like
a big fat nothing.
Yeah, it was just like, here's the Illuminati. It's not really the lineup you really care about. I guess the big surprise was that, hey, we listened to y'all and cast John Krasinski as Reed Richards.
All right, but on that same point is, I guess the fact that what got me is this was supposed to be a multiverse of madness. This was supposed to be the introduction of the multiverse to the MCU.
Mm.
And I feel like they cheated and aren't going to bring characters from these other worlds now. And they just showed, hey, well, like what we talked about off air is with Doctor Strange is apparently Benedict Cumberbatch was all Doctor Strange's.
Yeah, that's true.
So is that going to now be that the Fantastic Four guy, is he now going to be all Mr. Fantastics?
I kind of hope so. But then
in the same breath, you've got Spider-Man, who had 3 different versions, which, I mean, it was easy to do because there was 2 previous Spider-Man.
And also 4 or 5 different Lokis.
Right, but then you had Loki that had dozens of different Lokis, and I feel like they kind of... It was like you had an opportunity, and to me, I think the shows will eventually ruin the movies.
I mean, I wasn't going to go ruin, but...
Maybe not ruin, but you can sit there and have 8 episodes, an hour long a piece, 40 minutes, whatever, that can really flesh out points and story arcs, and then turn around and try to fit that much information in a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
I don't think they can carry like that. I don't think they can carry on.
I mean, someone made some good points to me recently, like all the MCU, I still think WandaVision was really good.
Oh, I do too. But I didn't see
I'd say
what
Captain
she would have
America
done to this.
Captain America Winter Soldier I thought was really good. But the rest like are okay at best. Like there's not like they haven't put a whole solid season of like every episode was good together yet.
Oh no.
And so it's just like, all right, we're kind of like slightly above average on the Disney Plus. I thought Black Widow was good, but at the same time, like it was just kind of it felt like a makeup for like you should have had this a long time ago.
Scarlett Johansson should have had that movie 6-7 years ago.
Yeah,
and I definitely feel like this was just her. Hey, we're sorry. Here's a movie.
Yeah, and then they screw her over because of in her contract she got portion of like the ticket sales or something.
Yeah,
or, like money.
And then it went straight to Disney Plus.
Yeah, and so that's not very cool. And then what else came out? So we've had Black Widow,
Eternals.
Eternals was.
I still have not watched Eternals.
It's not great.
I will watch it just because it is.
There's been some fun fan theories that come out of that. Plus, Black Knight is in there, and I don't know why I'm so excited for Black Knight, but I am.
Because of Noel and that story arc.
Yeah. And then we had Spider-Man, which was great, but technically Sony.
Yeah.
And then Doctor Strange, I wasn't like blown away by.
So
and I think part of it was like, Y'all gave everything away in the trailer. So like, why
Oh
did
yeah,
you?
yeah, like everything, like the fact there was gonna be a zombie
For
Doctor
how
Strange. There was gonna be
for
a-
how much there was the Illuminati was in there, you shouldn't have shown Illuminati at all.
no,
Like
no, because that
you,
was literally a
and
15
first off,
minutes.
you didn't need the Illuminati to sell this movie.
No,
You've had 10 years of pretty much great movies.
Benedict
like,
Cumberbatch himself sold this movie.
yeah,
And then you have the Olsen.
maybe you tease.
What's her name? The two of them was all they
Maybe you
needed.
tease Wanda turning bad, and that would have sold it.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. Now, this is one of the dumbest heel turns I've ever fucking seen.
Talking about
like-
Wanda going bad.
Yeah, she literally, they did the whole, oh, you didn't tell me her name trick. And you did it 15 minutes in.
Yeah, it's like we're not at least gonna let her
Like-
fuck up some shit first.
Yeah, like, she was literally about to have someone take her to her objective, and instead she said, well, why didn't America Chavez come here?
Yeah,
And then they did the whole thing. He's like,
I
you didn't tell me
yeah.
her name was American. It's like, really? That's what we're doing here?
That's how we're gonna end this.
That's how we're doing this?
I guess coming off of the Wanda TV show, which I thought would have a season 2.
So far, I've
which
heard
now,
none of them are having season 2s.
That really sucks. I mean, okay, but either way,
I
it
haven't
felt
heard
like
any of them are confirmed.
that is true. Which I think the only one that is confirmed is Captain America Winter Soldier. That's
Because
gonna be a
they're already
movie.
getting ready
They're
for
gonna
Cap
be a
4.
movie. Yeah.
Which, I mean, if they told us that, now that I know that not to expect sequels from any of these seasons,
Now,
like,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Now Loki ended like it would have a season 2.
True. But is that just going to finish up
But
in
is it gonna-
Quantum Mania like this did with WandaVision?
I hope not, because
'Cause-
I feel like that's a disrespect to the show that spent the time building these characters, and then we're just gonna fuck them in a 2-hour movie. Like, I feel like WandaVision, like, Disney now owns the rights to Fox.
Yeah.
You could have introduced the X-Men here.
That is
Like,
another thing. I
This
was sitting there.
like the whole theory.
was
That's what I
like-
was disappointed in, is the fact that, okay, Scarlet Witch destroyed the X-Men
Yeah.
in the comics. Maybe she's going to
bring them back.
in the movie, and then it's just at
That's
the
what
end.
we said with WandaVision. We were like,
She's
is
just
this
a
going to be
pissed
the
off,
House of M?
Yeah.
Is this going? And then we said,
She's
is
just
she
a
gonna bring
pissed
here?
off woman wanting her kids back that aren't her kids and never
Yeah.
had kids, and then
Can
at the
change
end-
reality.
and then at the end, yeah.
She changed reality, so she can just bring those kids back to life. So I don't know why. I don't know. But no, that was another thing. I was like, they kind of introduced the Fantastic Four, but not really.
Correct.
But then,
They kind of
Now-
introduced the X-Men and they didn't.
so yeah, I'm like, well, how are they going to bring mutants into this? Because like this was the movie to do it.
Because
But,
at the end of this, Wanda's dead. Air quote. We never saw
Yeah.
her body, so you can't, in comics, you can't fully say she's dead.
Yeah.
But
now they did say one thing that I thought was super interesting, and makes me think of like what they're going to do for the Fantastic Four movie. Because when they introduced Reed Richards to Doctor Strange, and he's like, he's not surprised, like, who are you? He's like, would y'all chart in the 60s or something?
yeah.
That's what he said. And I'm like, what if Fantastic Four, if it's not based in the 60s, is it them coming back from space and everybody like, yo, we thought you were gone forever? And they just came back from space.
Ooh.
It's like them coming back from space, getting their powers, kind of like the whole origin, but also like, we don't have to have the shitty like first half of it. And it's just like, we thought y'all were gone forever. Where have y'all been?
Like they went off and fought something and then came
Or no,
just
like-
disappeared.
Depending on which origin story you get, it's like them trying to return from space, getting caught in some type of cosmic storm in space, and that's how they get their powers.
That would be cool.
That's how most of the time I hear their origin
Yeah.
story. But it is like, but it could be even, or no, because people would have known. It's the first family of Marvel. People would have known there's people with superpowers. So you kind of have to
Yeah.
do it. They're getting their powers on the way back. Now maybe you're in space and the end of the movie is them coming back. I don't know, but it did kind of set up as like, oh, people of the 616 universe know of the
Fantastic Four.
Reed Richards
Or Reed
and
Richards, at least.
know of the scientists that went into space, but no one's talked about them, so maybe they just haven't come back yet.
And I think that's what also aggravated me about the movie is, again, this is a multiverse of madness. And to me, there
You
wasn't,
really only
there,
spent
there
time
wasn't
on like three
three
universes.
universes, and it really wasn't madness.
No,
Like everything was pretty textbook of a story arc.
Also, they pegged this as like the Marvel's first horror film. There was definitely some horror elements in it too, like that. in the universe of the Illuminati, when they're trying to escape and Wanda's just like busting out on the walls, that was a pretty good
That was
scene.
pretty cool.
I'm not gonna
That
lie.
was really cool. The
But
way they
like,
made her bloody, then they went into the tunnel.
for one, it was only slightly more violent than most Marvel movies. The people who complain about that are dumb as hell.
Yeah,
So
because it's violence. I mean, it's
go
no big
watch
deal.
the Daredevil show on
Yeah.
Netflix. It's a million times more violent.
Um,
Which we just got confirmation of. That's
and we
coming
just
to
saw the
Disney Plus.
She-Hulk trailer here at the end of May.
I've seen people shitting on She-Hulk. I don't think it's made for most people.
I don't think I think it's going to be more of a.
If it turns into Bridesmaids meets Legally Blonde, I'm here all day for
Oh
it.
yeah, it'll be fun, but I don't know if it's going to end up being a top tier show.
I don't know.
And I really hope they clean up the CGI of She-Hulk. She looks a little grainy. But other than that, I think I'm going to watch it. I mean, it's. But again,
You say that you haven't watched Moon Knight yet.
I haven't watched Moon Knight.
You need to
Still
watch it
Moon Knight.
before, and we'll get into it later this month. But you need to watch it before Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh yeah, I would imagine that there's going to be a lot of tie-ins with new gods and shit that comes around.
Mm-hmm.
But but again, we say all this to sit here and go, we aren't going to go see Thor: Love and Thunder in theaters.
Thor, because I know the story arc that's based off of. I'm definitely gonna go see it. I mean, I'm gonna watch it all, but like, let's be honest, it hasn't been the same as like the first, like the Infinity Saga of like the first 10 years. And there's been some people coming out and saying like, the first 10 years of Marvel wasn't as like,
there was a lot of
it wasn't
flying by the seat of your
everybody
pants.
was like, I can't believe they planned all this and pulled it off and made it work. And it's like, it wasn't as planned as you thought it was. And I'm like, well, it definitely does not feel like they have a plan now.
No,
so I don't know what the hell's going on.
And you sat there for 10 years knowing that, okay, we're going to end with Thanos.
Yeah.
But we're also making the most money Marvel, any movie company's ever made in life.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to sit there and at least plan a few post Infinity War. We're just going to stop the planning at Infinity War, then come back afterwards and go, hey, we'll throw this dart at that wall and that dart.
And it also just really feels like we're hitting like an uncomfortable amount of legacy characters. Not that I don't like legacy characters, but it's also like, can we, try to keep some people around? Like, what are we doing?
Oh, I got you. The fact that the only characters left from the original series, even after Doctor Strange, is Doctor Strange and Thor and the Guardians.
Yeah. And
they're the only ones left.
Hawkeye might be coming back. I don't know. But they've got young Hawkeye now.
Yeah, they got her. I thought years ago.
You've got Cap and Bucky, which I'm glad they're still around.
Which I thought years ago when they had whichever Avengers movie ended with Captain America in the hall, and it was WandaVision, War Machine, Vision,
Age of Ultron.
When it ended with that, and he said Avengers Assemble.
Yeah,
I thought we were going to get a Young Avengers. At some
that's
point.
what
I thought we were going to get
people have talked
a Young
about.
Avengers.
They're setting up for it because you've got all these young people. And you still have enough of the old people around.
Yeah,
you could get a Young Avengers series,
which I think I would enjoy because
you
would get to see them. That would be the next 10 years.
Get to see them
something.
Become a team would be awesome,
right? And
if they do Young Avengers, I'm all here for it.
And now, a critique.
But no, also like I've heard, they're not doing the traditional like. A lot of people I haven't read it, so I don't know, but the Miss Marvel Kamala Khan that can stretch
that comes
and
out
have
in June.
But apparently the MCU version is not going to have the same powers. She's just going to have Captain Marvel's
Correct.
powers.
This what we talked about that a few months ago.
Why would you not just do the character everybody likes?
We talked about that a few months ago when I saw the first trailer, and she's running around like she's a big fan of Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she starts glowing in the trailer. She starts glowing like Captain Marvel, and I'm like,
why would we not just have her regular powers?
Because in the comics, isn't she one of the most not the most, but she's a very, very powerful character.
She's basically
and just because
she's a Mr. Fantastic.
That's just not smart.
She's a stretch, yeah.
And why?
Which is a fun power to play with.
Which changing male and female characters I don't care. That's fine. But changing up the fact that like her powers like defined her in the comics.
Yeah.
Why would you then completely change
Why are
those
you-
powers? Like, why would you then
Like, are
alter
y'all
those
just
powers?
trying to not have Brie Olson come back? Because, like, I don't think a lot of people shit on that Captain Marvel movie. I don't think it was Brie Olson's fault. I think it's
No,
the writing. Like,
it was, and
they did a. I watched a video on it. It was like, why did Captain Marvel not work, but Black Widow did? And it was like, because they made Captain Marvel had zero flaws. And,
correct, yeah,
And Black Widow, her whole thing was she feels guilty about what she did in the past. So
Yep.
this entire time she's been in Marvel, she's trying, like the whole
it's like a
first
resurrection.
Avenger,
Like, yeah,
the entire first Avengers movie is hers just saying, I got too much red on my ledger. I'm trying to wipe it out.
right,
And that's why she released the files in Captain America, whatever, Winter Soldier. She released the files knowing that everybody would know what she did, and so she's like, I'm gonna have to work even harder now.
Yeah,
So.
it's. I don't know. I hope. I'm sure there is a direction. And
I hope.
again, we've also sat 10 years watching them end with Thanos,
Yeah.
and we didn't. I would say me personally, I didn't pay attention that everything was so connected.
Yeah.
For probably 6 years or so during this whole thing. And
once
then,
they did Guardians of the Galaxy, because then they started just directly talking about Thanos.
correct.
And him, and
Then
Gamora was like,
then the stones started showing up. And,
yeah, and it was just like,
yeah.
okay, well then, and that was like 2014. So you had 5 years of like, oh,
Correct.
this is where we're going.
Yeah. And I feel like, and I was telling some folks this, I think that this Doctor Strange movie with America Chavez and the way they entered the multiverse, which I thought was kind of a cheap way to do it, which I know that's her powers and cool, but we're never going to talk about the multiverse, and then all of a sudden multiverses, your dreams are your multiverses.
I thought that was actually
It was cool, but
yeah.
I just felt like everything was just so rushed.
Yeah.
And
They did that with Spider-Man, which I understand because there was a lot in that movie.
there was a lot.
But this one was like, they set the movie up in 10 minutes when they could have taken their time.
Correct. And I think that's what got me. And I love the character America Chavez. I think she'll do good. And I think that's where I feel like there's going to be a Young Avengers.
Yeah, I would definitely
off of this.
be excited for Young Avengers.
But at the same time, I was telling some folks, I think that this movie will be one of those. It's kind of like Thor: Dark World. It's not great, but we're also
I don't think it's Thor: Dark World.
It's not
bad.
that low. It's not that low, but it's down there.
I mean, it's like I'd put it at like Age of Ultron.
See, I like Age of Ultron.
I like Age of Ultron. I'd probably put it below Age of Ultron though.
Definitely.
But that's a lot of people don't like Age of Ultron for some reason.
It's weird.
It's just like middle tier.
Okay. But then, so going off of that, I think that say in 6 years, 5 years, when they flesh out some more movies,
they'll come back to it.
You're
like
gonna
they did.
sit there.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit there and go, "Oh shit! They said this in Doctor Strange. We got to go back and watch it." Like at the end when they show when he's got his third eye.
Yeah.
And meets
Now,
the girl.
his
The
wife-
girl that is, I'm
that's the
pretty sure
wife
the wife
from,
of the Dark Universe.
Yeah.
Dark Realm, whatever they call it.
So that we'd read in that Death of Doctor Strange.
We've got
story.
we got possibility of the Dark Worlds coming.
Yeah.
And demons and
Which I'm down for.
more crazy
Y'all
stuff.
just
So
need
there
to-
is
Y'all
opportunity.
need to find a John Constantine for y'all's universe, though.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know what they're gonna do, but
But
yeah. Marvel's just kind of doing average right now, so I don't know.
is this 3 movies a year, or is there going to be 4 this year? We had Spider-Man,
Thor.
Doctor Strange, and Thor, and all are coming out within like 5 months
I
of each
think
other.
they've stopped doing the like November one because I think they leave that open for Star Wars now. But I don't think there's a Star Wars movie.
There's not a Star Wars. They canceled the trilogy that was supposed to happen. Now they're talking about redoing a new movie.
Yeah, what was that Vanity Fair article that came out? They're basically Favreau and Filoni saying they want to get away from the Skywalker saga.
Well, that was kind
That's
of the
what I
whole
got.
point of the movie. The way 9 ended
Yeah,
is supposed to be the Skywalker saga
it's done.
is done. And now we will start to address the stories of the wider universe.
Mhm.
And in the Vanity Fair article, they introduced, they showed that they're going to do Cassian Andor's TV show,
Yeah.
which I'm interested about.
That's the guy from Rogue One, right?
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
going
he
to be
was
with
pretty
K2SO, and I think that's going to be kind of a buddy cop thing.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine that once that happens, they're going to show a really big chunk of early rebellion. So we get a new, I can't remember her name, but she's the really tall, skinny white chick in episode 4 that is kind of the leader of the rebellion. Not
Oh,
Leia,
gotcha.
but
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
oh gosh, I can't remember her name. But she's going to be in it. She's being recast, of course, and I think we're going to see a lot of early rebellion issues, which I think is also going to bring in Ahsoka as well.
Okay.
Because Ahsoka in
Let's
Rebels,
say, where's that line up with Rebels?
So Rebels is the earliest rendition of the Rebel
Rebellion.
Alliance.
Nice.
At the end of that, they finally, when they're fighting Thrawn, you've seen it all, haven't you?
I have not.
Fucking shit, man.
I'm powering through. Well, I was making good headway on the chronological order of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And then I just went on a big One Piece tangent. I've been binge watching the shit out of that.
So Rebels, I believe, would then coincide with Andor, which would also coincide with Ahsoka, and there could be this big.
I
There
thought
could be a
Ahsoka
lot.
was going to take place during the where we're at now in the Mandalorian timeline.
That's all in that same era of. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Mandalorian's after.
So Ahsoka is
the
way
original
down
trilogy.
the line.
Yeah. Now, what it could be,
Now, okay,
it's my
that is
favorite
true.
Star
I
Wars.
forget that Ahsoka's that far down the line.
What it could be, my favorite piece of Star Wars content ever. Maybe we get the people from Jedi Fallen Order in there.
That
I would
could
be
happen.
so down for that.
There are theories that could happen in Obi-Wan.
Like almost every show.
Well, yeah. So
That's what happens when you cast video game characters that are like famous actors.
the most, yeah. So
like everybody knows who that kid is.
So
He's
the
from
way
We Are
way Star Wars is going right now, which I'm afraid is going to kind of end up.
No, he's not.
Huh? Oh,
We all know who that kid is.
which I have I have a slight fear that it's going to turn into what the MCU is, just pumping content, and it then oversaturates
As long as it's
it.
good content.
But to get away from the Skywalker universe saga, it's this Obi-Wan story. I believe will finish that. It's gonna be Ian McGregor having his final goodbye to Star Wars. Because he's on a desert planet of Tatooine. There's not a whole lot he can do.
I know we read that book and it was not a whole lot to do there.
Oh, and they came out with a new Obi-Wan series now too.
Well, yeah, they got to capitalize on it.
That just came out last week or two. Either way, and I believe that that's going to be the final real transition of any attachment directly to the Skywalker family, and then the rest will be the Mandalorian doing his own thing, Ahsoka going and finding Ezra Bridger, Cassian Andor, and then building the Rebel Alliance and infiltrating the Empire. So that's how we will move away from the Skywalker. Is that now we get to see the wide world of Star Wars.
I need more Mace Windu. That's all I'm going to say.
There's theories that there could be possibly up to 5 old Jedi reintroduced in Obi-Wan.
Really?
Yeah.
I know it's already came, like, Samuel L. Jackson has already said, he's reached out to the people at Disney and is like, I want Mace Windu back.
Yeah, because again, it's like every comic book trope. If you don't see the dead body, they ain't dead.
I laugh every time. I think I've said it on the show before. Every time an actor or somebody is like, yeah, I want to be in the next Star Wars or I want to be in the next MCU. I was like, yeah, I bet you would like to be in something that will
capitalize,
cash you out for the rest of your career. So,
but
that was our segment. I knew that took up a lot of time, so I'm glad. We're a little bit worried about the MCU. Let us know if you are too. Put it down in the comments or whatever. Tweet at us. But next week is a fan recommendation from our fan Matt White.
Right, X-Men Messiah
Complex.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But glad we could jump on that so quick. And check it out. It's a pretty good book. So.
Oh yeah, it was good.
But we'll talk about that next week.
Bye.
Bye.